In the 19th century, the city of Recife in Brazil lived in darkness. At night, the streets were black rivers of shadow, broken only by the flicker of candles in windows or the glow of oil lamps in taverns. People hurried home before sunset, afraid of thieves, accidents, or simply losing their way in the labyrinth of alleys. For the poor, there was no light at all, only endless nights filled with fear. But in this city of shadows lived a woman named Maria da Penha, the daughter of a seamstress. She was not wealthy, nor did she hold political power. She lived in a modest house, sewing clothes for the well-off and scraping together enough to survive. Yet Maria refused to accept that her city was condemned to darkness. She had once traveled to Rio de Janeiro, where she saw something remarkable: streets lit by gas lamps, their warm glow pushing back the night. To her, it seemed almost magical, a city alive after sunset, people strolling without fear, businesses thriving. Why, she wondered, should Recife not have the same? When she returned home, she spoke passionately of her vision. But men laughed. "You are a seamstress," they sneered. "Leave such matters to governors and engineers." Others dismissed her as naive, claiming Recife was too poor, too backward for such dreams. Maria did not listen. By day, she sewed and saved every coin she could. By night, she studied books borrowed from travelers, manuals on gas systems, sketches of pipes and burners. She befriended sailors who carried news of technology from Europe, gathering knowledge piece by piece. Slowly, she built an understanding of how light could be harnessed. Years passed, but her determination never dimmed. At last, she took her savings, meager but enough, and built a prototype, a single gas lamp in front of her home. When night fell, neighbors gathered to stare. For the first time, the street glowed with a steady flame that did not flicker out in the wind. Children laughed and played long after sunset. Old men lingered on doorsteps, marveling at the light as if the moon had descended to earth. Word spread quickly. Soon, other households asked her to install lamps. With each success, her reputation grew. The governor could no longer ignore the seamstress who was lighting the city one street at a time. Officials came, skeptical at first, but they too stood amazed when they saw her lamps burning bright against the night sky. In 1854, thanks to Maria's relentless work, Recife installed its first public gas lamps. Streets that had once been choked with darkness now glowed with golden light. Commerce flourished, safety improved, and life after sunset became possible. What began with one woman's stubborn vision transformed an entire city. Maria never sought recognition. She returned to her sewing table, content that her dream had been realized. Yet her legacy endured long after her death. The lamps she inspired paved the way for electricity, and Recife would one day shine like the cities of her imagination. She had been told to stay quiet, to accept things as they were. But she refused. She proved that progress does not always come from rulers or wealthy elites. Sometimes it begins with an ordinary woman who dares to dream of light in a world that accepts darkness.